Welcome back to 504 Road Trips. We're back into this nasty weather after a short takeover by Roadway Whiz through New York. We're on I-95 in New Jersey, and just to get past all this bad weather and some heavy traffic we'll be encountering shortly, we're going to get through the rest of the filming from August 10th, 2023 in one shot. We're going all the way to New Brunswick, New Jersey in this video. We started out by taking the western spur of I-95, more on that later. We had to make a pit stop at the Vince Lombardi service area because while Roadway Whiz whizzed his way through New York City in 20 minutes, in reality it took us almost 2 hours and 40 minutes in the rain, and I got into that traffic with a fresh extra large cup of coffee. So a pit stop was required. New Jersey names its service areas after prominent New Jersey residents. Most Americans will recognize Vince Lombardi as the former coach of the Green Bay Packers and an NFL executive, but he began his coaching career at St. Cecilia High School in Englewood, New Jersey. The rest area lies at the southern split between the two branches of I-95 and is accessible from both branches of the interstate. The signage isn't very detailed about which ramps lead to which branch, and I was just concentrating on going south. So even though we had initially selected the western spur before the stop, we ended up driving the eastern spur once we got back on the interstate. Now about this eastern and western spur thing. To address growing traffic near the Turnpike's northern terminus, the New Jersey Turnpike Authority constructed a 12-mile western spur completed in 1970. This addition begins in Ridgefield Park and rejoins the original route in Newark. Its primary purpose is to handle through traffic heading between the George Washington Bridge and points south, as well as traffic going to the Meadowlands Sports Complex. The original section, now called the Eastern Spur, primarily serves vehicles traveling to and from the Lincoln Tunnel. Despite their different functions, both spurs are marked as I-95 on road signs. Internally, however, the New Jersey Department of Transportation refers to them as I-95E and I-95W, as one would expect them to also be signed. Near the northernmost end of the split, the New Jersey Turnpike connects with I-80 at its eastern terminus, curves eastward and crosses the George Washington Bridge into New York, which is where we just came from. Here we cross into North Bergen Township and Hudson County. North Bergen has a population of 63,361 as of the 2020 census, spread out over 5.14 square miles, placing it at number 73 on the list of cities, towns, or villages with the highest population density in the United States. That may not seem very high, but that's number 73 out of 19,500 such municipalities. Now we enter the town of Secaucus, with an estimated population of 21,005 as of 2023. Situated in the New Jersey Meadowlands, this town is the most suburban in Hudson County. However, much of its land is used for light manufacturing, retail businesses, transportation, and protected natural areas. Exit 17 on the right connects with State Route 495, providing access to the Lincoln Tunnel, which crosses the Hudson River into Midtown Manhattan near Times Square and Madison Square Garden. Just ahead, we'll see our first active toll gantry since we left New Hampshire. E-ZPass users stay to the left to bypass the toll plaza, while cash customers have to stop to get a ticket. We weren't charged anything here, but presumably this records the entry point into the system and will pay for our mileage when we exit the system, which will happen at the end of this video. We enter the town of Kearney with an estimated population of 39,370 as of 2023, a low since the 1990s. The town lies at the confluence of the Hackensack and Passaic rivers and was the location of Western Electric's second largest manufacturing facility from 1925 to 1986, employing as many as 24,000 people at one point. The facility produced an assortment of equipment and supplies for the Bell system and AT&T. Exit 15W connects I-95 to I-280, which travels northwest to its parent I-80. We cross the Passaic River to enter the city of Newark, the county seat of Essex County and the most populous city in New Jersey. As we descend the high-rise bridge over the river, the 1930s-era Pulaski Skyway comes into view, carrying U.S. routes 1 and 9. Trucks have been prohibited on the Skyway since 1934 for the, quote, safety and welfare of the public. However, I've personally driven a commercial truck over that very Skyway. My excuse was that I'm not from around here. I'll tell that story in a video one day. Newark has an estimated population of 304,960 as of 2023. Now at this point, the two spurs of I-95 have come back together, but they're still running separate and parallel to each other, and this continues for a short distance. An exit provides access to Interstate 78, which runs east to the Holland Tunnel, crossing the Hudson into Lower Manhattan. This is where the express lanes begin, for lack of a better term. Only passenger cars are allowed to the left, while cars, trucks, and buses are permitted on the right. The two spurs of I-95 are about to make their final merge, and from that point on, the inner lanes in both directions are the express lanes, and the outer lanes carry cars and commercial traffic. Also note the airliner that looks like it's going to buzz traffic on the highway ahead. Newark's Liberty Airport, the New York City area's third option for air travel, is just ahead on the right. Traffic is starting to build up again as we enter the city of Elizabeth, the county seat of Union County. The city has an estimated population of 135,829 as of 2023, while the county had a population of 572,726. The award-winning HBO TV series The Sopranos had many scenes set in Elizabeth and locations within the city released by the production company for filming. Exit 13 provides access to Interstate 278, which runs west a short distance to US Highway 9 and east over the Goethals Bridge, crossing Arthur Kill to Staten Island, and then eventually over the Verrazano Narrows Bridge into Brooklyn, New York. We enter the city of Linden with an estimated population of 43,950 as of 2023. Linden is a regional center for Polish immigrants and is home to many businesses that highlight Polish food and culture. Each year, the city hosts a Polish Heritage Day festival where visitors can enjoy local Polish cuisine, pottery, traditional dances, fashion, and other forms of Polish art. We passed through the borough of Carteret, which had a population of 25,326 as of the 2020 census. Carteret is home to the main data center for the NASDAQ OMX Group's stock exchange. The town is also developing Carteret Stages, a massive film production complex spanning 1.2 million square feet, with an estimated cost of $1 billion, located along the waterfront. And as they say, nobody beats the Wiz. We've also entered Middlesex County, which has a 2023 estimated population of 863,623, making it New Jersey's third most populous county. Now we're in Woodbridge Township, a bedroom suburb of New York City located within the core of the Raritan Valley region. The township had an estimated population of 103,639 as of 2023. Woodbridge was one of the communities that was heavily damaged due to flooding from Hurricane Sandy in 2012. A tsunami-like wall of water came up the Woodbridge River, destroying homes adjacent to the river. Following the storm, the township bought out and demolished homes in the flood hazard areas, using money from the New Jersey buyout program. These residential areas will be replaced by a floodplain forest of native trees, shrubs, and grass. Exit 11 provides access to the Garden State Parkway, the longest highway in the state of New Jersey at approximately 172 miles, and was the busiest toll road in the United States in 2006, according to the International Bridge, Tunnel, and Turnpike Association. We enter Edison Township, which was named for and once the home of Thomas Edison. In his Menlo Park laboratory, Thomas Edison invented the phonograph and developed a practical filament for the incandescent light bulb. Christie Street, located nearby, made history as the first street in the world to be lit by electric lights. Edison Township has an estimated population of 106,836 as of 2023. We entered the city of New Brunswick, and it was here that we decided to call it quits for the day, and we booked a room at the Hilton East Brunswick Hotel and Executive Meeting Center. We'd had enough of the rain, and we were exhausted, having driven nearly 500 miles from Bangor, Maine that day. Upon exiting the turnpike, we were charged a toll of $10.88 for the distance we'd driven on the turnpike. We'll conclude the video here, and we'll call our exit point back there mile 38.5, since that's the distance from the exit to the Pennsylvania state line. Thanks for watching. We'd like to give special thanks to our newest channel member, Henry Bustell, and backseat channel members J.H., Jeremy W.C., John Edinger, and Kathy Mason. You too can become a channel member for as little as $1 a month and get early access to our regular videos. If you like this video, please give us a like, comment below, share and follow us on social media, and join us for our next 504 road trip.